Hello, my name is McGann, and if you have been watching my other videos and keeping up with my crazy drama as somebody who's married to a narcissist that has been cheating on them, I want to talk to you guys about going on vacation with a narcissist, especially after they've been caught and, the mask is down. So a real notable trend with people who have narcissism is that they do not like to let their victims go ever. So they can leave you and that's fine, and they'll put you in the back of their stable and come visit whenever they feel like it. But if you up and leave them, they hate that. They see that usually as a narcissistic injury and they want to punish you for that. They will do anything to get you back in their hooks. So if you're about to break up with a narcissist, expect to get elaborate gifts and a lot of goalpost moving to try and avoid divorce. And I've noticed that a lot of narcissists seem to really love doing this traveling roadshow bit. Where you guys can't get along behind closed doors, but he's all like, I want to go out to eat with you, and I want to go shopping with you, I want to take you on vacation, I want to show you how good things can be between us. And I believe that they do this because, one, they think it's going to hook you back into their nonsense. Two, they think that you won't fight with them if you're not in the privacy of your own home. So, oh my gosh, she just found out I cheated on her. Let's go to your favorite restaurant, baby, because then that way you're not going to make a scene in front of all these people. So being out in the world is kind of like a safety net. And three, the narcissist gets to play super spouse. They take all these happy looking photos with you and you guys look awesome together in public. But this gets really exhausting for the narcissist pretty quickly. So then they start lashing out all over the place. And be assured that their acting out is going to ruin your good time because that's what they want. If they're miserable, you better be miserable. So a narcissist will do things like offer to drive, and then they complain the entire time that they're driving. And if you offer to help them drive, they'll find an excuse why you can't. Oh, you're not a good driver. Oh, well, I just got this coffee. Oh, well, no, I just want to listen to the radio. I don't want you to take over the radio station. Whatever stupid thing they can come up with. Or they offer to set up the whole vacation. You don't have to lift a finger, baby. Then they put in next to no effort. Maybe they'll get the tickets, but they don't get the hotel. They don't get the babysitter. They don't get the travel arrangements settled. And then they treat you like you're the villain when you have to step in and fix things or finish the planning. Well, I was going to do that. Well, why did you step all over this? I had this. I was going to do this for you. I don't know why you have to control everything. Well, because we're leaving tomorrow and we don't have a place to go. And the narcissist loves to take you where you want to go and then act put out to be there. So in my situation, my husband knew that I'm fed up with him. I'm done with him. I don't want to be with him. I want him out of the house. So he goes, no, honey, the 50th anniversary of Disney is starting in just a couple of months. So let's wait till the end of October and we'll go to that. And then if you want me to leave, I'll leave. That happened. We still weren't getting along. He ruined the entire trip being a miserable curmudgeon. And then he moved the goalpost as soon as he came back to the house. So instead of, well, I'll leave if you want me to leave at the end of October and I won't fight with you. Now it's, well, let's wait until after we do this in November. I got us tickets for this show in November, so let's do that first. And constantly, since I caught him cheating, he has just moved the goalpost for what it will take to get rid of him. So I'm pretty confident I'm never getting rid of him without a police intervention. And at the same time, he is still constantly doing things that he knows would make me furious, that I would not be happy with, like opening secret bank accounts and opening credit cards to buy guns when I fully assert that he is not stable enough to be a gun owner. But even if you get on this vacation and it seems like a nice trip at first, maybe some bumps, but that's just their personality, that's just par for the course. You got to put up with the crappy version of your spouse to get some of the goodness. And here you are in this wonderful place like Disney World that makes you so happy, or maybe it's Aruba, whatever, a cruise, whatever your elaborate gift vacation was. And things that the narcissist knew about well in advance will suddenly anger them, and they will act out as if it's some huge surprise or they're so put out. And that's exactly what my spouse did. He bought tickets to Disney World knowing full well that masks were required whenever you went inside a building. Yet every single time he stepped in or out of a building, he had to whine and complain and have a little hissy fit about putting on and taking off a mask. Oh, I got this overreactor. Oh, you should be able to tell me what to do. Well, it's their park, it's their rules, and you knew about them before you put down any money. And the narcissist just stomps around and gets angry about any and everything possible. If you get in line for a ride or a drink or whatever, and there's 2 people ahead of you, oh my gosh, it's insane. It's so busy. Oh, this is ridiculous. They're just so put out. And my husband in particular, every time that a ride was stopped to load in a person with a wheelchair, he had some mean commentary about how vegetables shouldn't be allowed in the park. Or, oh, let's unplug grandma from life support so they can put her on the small world boat. Just so over the top, seething anger, rage. Meanwhile, our son is autistic and we were using a disability pass for every ride in the park. So what kind of double standard hypocrite are you? And I mean, it was the same kind of stuff when we were on welfare. He would sit around saying how everybody on welfare is such trash. And I would be like, well, what does that say about you? And he goes, well, I'm working 3 jobs. When no, he's never worked 3 jobs at once in his life. I'm working 3 jobs and I can't get by, so I need the welfare. So what makes you think nobody else is in that same situation? Why do you assume that everybody but you is lazy and that you're the smartest guy in the room when you are clearly a whole lot of nothing? But back to the trip part, while you're on vacation, your narcissist is going to complain and make fun of everyone in your party and have all these snarky little remarks until nobody can have fun anymore. So, oh, the kids are picky. Oh, this one's so afraid of that. Oh, this one, just something nasty to say. Oh, they won't eat anything but chicken nuggets. Whatever nasty little piece of vitriol he could spew out of his lips, he would. And then he'd act like the victim if anybody said anything to him, even joking. You can't even tease him, or he's ready to cry and throw a fit and punch through a wall, but he can sit there and spew venom at everybody connected to him and everybody not connected to him, and that's perfectly fine and acceptable. So just more and more double standards. Everywhere you go, there's going to be a double standard where he's perfect and everybody else, including you, is just garbage. And if the situation can't be about the narcissist, they will eventually start freaking out. To give an example, because we had the Disability Access Pass, we could go into the Disney World app, select a ride, hit the join queue or whatever button it was, and then it would give us a return time. So it was like, you couldn't just say, I want to go on this ride and walk right on it. You'd have to wait through what the regular line would be. And then you'd get to walk up and scan in with your disability pass and go through pretty quickly. So instead of having to stand in line for an hour and a half with an autistic child freaking out, you wait an hour and a half, do, shopping, eating, whatever you want, just sitting down, relaxing. And then you go up to the disability pass and you wait maybe 2 or 3 minutes to get on the ride. So you still have to wait. You're just not waiting in an enclosed area around a bunch of other people. And we had a return time for the Jungle Cruise that was about 15 minutes away. And out of nowhere, my husband just starts freaking out that he needs coffee. He needs coffee. He needs coffee. He needs coffee. And this is minutes after he just sucked down a giant Dole Whip. And you can only do 1 disability pass at a time. So you have to check into the Jungle Cruise before you can reserve the next ride. So I said, let's go to the Jungle Cruise. We'll set up the Peter Pan's flight time that our son wants to do. And then we have this hour-long gap. So once we get off the boat, you go get your coffee and then we'll do whatever we need to until it's time to get on Peter Pan. And he's like, okay, I'm going to go ask this lady over here where the nearest coffee thing is. And he goes and asks her. And then he just takes off. And I'm like, what the heck? Where did he go? He went to go get the coffee and waste a bunch of time. So it takes him a half an hour to go get coffee and come back when it was, just a few minutes before we could have scanned in and started the next disability pass. And you might think, well, it doesn't matter, does it? You still didn't have to wait in line. Well, when the lines are so long, like they were in Disney World for the 50th anniversary in October, you have to wait an hour or more for most of the rides. So to have any kind of decent ride experience at all, you basically check into the one ride and then pick the next one. So to have to wait around for an extra hour while he goes and sips some coffee because he can't wait a few minutes, it puts out the entire group. It has to be about him and him controlling the situation and everything revolving around him and what he impulsively wants at any given minute, or else we're all in trouble. He screamed and ranted and raved at me because I was upset with him for taking off to get coffee after we already made plans for him to get the coffee after we got off the stupid boat. And the narcissist loves to constantly throw in your face that they're paying for things. So you're right back to this you owe me mentality. You can't enjoy anything. You can't sit down and eat without them going, well, I guess I better do my job and pay. It's a good thing I make so much money. And just like, does everything have to be about you? The narcissist will also fixate on everything they gave up to take you on vacation. Oh, I've lost all this money from missing work, and oh, my high school reunion's going on right now, but because I booked the tickets on this date, I decided to come here with you. And there was even a situation where my mother-in-law was having a surprise party that we heard about it after we got to Florida, because that side of the family tells us nothing ever. So even being a person who doesn't care about his mother like my husband is, and he wants nothing to do with this woman on any kind of regular basis, he only complains about her being a manipulative narcissist, which I agree with 100%. Suddenly, my husband is freaking out that we need to leave early because he's missing his mommy's birthday party, and really the issue is that other people in the family are going to be there to see that he's not there. That's his real issue, and it's the same thing he does with funerals. He could care less about the relative that died. He has no emotions about that, but he does care about how every other person at that funeral sees him. So he'll say things like, well, it's my duty to be the pallbearer, and it just reeks of desperation. Don't try to look like a good son to all these other outside people. Just be a good son or cut her out of your life. And I do want to warn people to be very careful, because in my case, my husband used the vacation as an excuse to not take his medicines because he was too busy to remember. So by day 3, we are all feeling him raging out nonstop about every little thing. And do you think he'd just admit that he wasn't taking his pills? No, we had to go back to the hotel room and see that they're still sitting in the little case that he made. So always watch your narcissist take their pills on vacation. I know it's stupid that you have to babysit an adult. It's an unreasonable expectation, but that's what you have to do if you want to have any semblance of a decent time. If the narcissist is having meltdowns and ruining your time or making you focus all on them, that might be exactly what they want. So don't let them have what they want. Make sure you shove those pills down their throat if you have to. And heaven help you if you have any feelings about how the narcissist is treating you, or, what he's done to you that you haven't healed from, like him cheating on you, because your narcissist has already forgiven himself for cheating or whatever else. So he will get angry if at any point you bring up something that reflects negatively on him at all. Then you're the bad guy who's accused of ruining everything all the time, and the narcissist gives himself a free pass to flip out all over everybody and vent all of his hateful frustrations right in your face. And I'm just sitting there like, no, you're having a good time. I'm miserable every minute you're around because you cheated on me and I hate you. So why put up with this and not just leave the vacation? Well, that's where the roller coaster of being with a narcissist comes into play and makes things extremely difficult. They can smell when you are really about to flip out and walk away, so they adjust their tactics. They'll go off and buy those special cupcakes that you were talking about, or they'll track down a drink for you when you look worn out, or they notice that your shoe's untied, so they'll jump down and tie it for you so that you stand there like an adult who can't tie their own shoes. It's really awkward and uncomfortable for me. Or they'll suddenly go, look, I've got my crap together and I'm suddenly helpful with the children now. So you get sucked in as the victim and you really start to feel bad for the narcissist, like they're really trying and maybe you are being unreasonable. But as soon as your leave level drops from a red to a yellow, they're right back to doing the same things that were upsetting you before. So they know what they're doing, and they know how they should be acting if your happiness was their goal. But instead, they want to yo-yo your emotions around so that way they can build up their own credibility and scream at you later, I'm trying. This is so hard for me. I'm doing this and this and this, and you just don't appreciate me. And even the this and this and this were piddly little things that any adult should have been doing. But they end up making you feel like you're unreasonable or that you're getting upset no matter what they do and they can't win and it's so horrible. So no matter how amped up or out of line the narcissist gets, they are really skilled at making you feel like you are the problem no matter what. But ultimately, you go home feeling super miserable and depleted because you've been trapped with your abuser for a week or more. But you'll have a ton of pictures where he's smiling and looking like super spouse because the pictures are the things that other people will see. So he puts his mask on for those. And no one knows that the reality is, click, this place is ridiculous. I can't stand all these people. Yeah, this is horrible. Who would like it here? All these people are incompetent. They need to be put down. Until you, as the person there with this idiot, is just ready to cry because he is making sure to make you miserable so that even in the happiest place on earth, you can't find a shred of joy in his presence. But at least the pictures look good, right? Let me just say, if you are in a toxic relationship, run. Don't think about it. Don't let them talk you out of it. Pack your stuff if you're living together with no children and just take off in the night if you have to. Don't look back. Don't confront the narcissist about why you're leaving because they're just gonna, spin you in circles and get you to stay or promise you the world or whatever else they have to do to get you to be compliant again. If you do have children with a narcissist and you know it's a bad situation, you need to get out of it. Believe me, I have tried and tried. Narcissism is very resistant to therapy, either individually or couples therapy. My husband goes to the couples counselor, and when he can't lie and spin a story and she asks him things like, why do you feel entitled to go outside your marriage or lie to your wife or hide things? He gets upset and says that we're attacking him. So there is no fixing things with a narcissist, even with therapy, even with pills, because at the end of the day, they lie to the therapists and they don't think that anything they're doing is wrong. So if you have children and you're in a toxic relationship, find your local domestic support hotline. There should be a number in every county in the United States. I don't know about internationally, unfortunately, but there should be a contact person who can talk you through the local laws and what you need to do to get away safely. Stay safe, guys, and remember, always put yourself first because the narcissist is always going to put themselves first.